For over 20 years, cybersecurity has been built around answering one simple question: where is the user going? AI just added a second question to this because it fundamentally changes how you and I interact with software. Security is no longer just about where the user is going, it's about what they do once they get there. To understand the significance of this, we're going to break down the difference between a destination versus an interaction through a security lens. For years, most of our interactions with software happened predominantly by clicking on buttons, whether it was to send an email, download a PDF file, or simply open up a website. Almost every interaction ultimately led to a destination. And this is exactly why your traditional security stack works so well. IT has firewall, SWG, DNS, their entire security stack almost solely focused on answering where is the user going. But if you fast forward to today, now employees can interact with software by having a conversation. And it's that simple change from clicking to conversing that's created an entirely new security challenge. Because today, the bigger risk around AI isn't actually the connection. It's about the interaction that this employee is having with AI. So at first glance, many will assume, well, why don't I just block the connection? If I have employees going to ChatGPT and I don't want them to, why don't I just block that destination? It's a simple policy change. When we talk about AI security, simply blocking a destination can certainly reduce your risk, but it's not the best way to govern AI, and I'll explain. Today, we have over 6,000 AI applications. That's expected to 10x by 2030. Even if you could theoretically block every single one of them, what about the AI that you want your employees using? AI isn't just another application category. AI is becoming a feature inside many of the applications that your employees already use. So blocking doesn't solve the real risk because the real risk happens after that connection is made. So the second question naturally becomes, what are employees sharing with AI? And that's the role that AI governance plays. It gives you that ability to say, was sensitive data exposed? Did somebody paste source code? Did they violate a policy? These are all completely different challenges than where did the user go and was it malicious? And you have to be able to solve this at scale. Because think about your own organization. You have many different teams. You have sales, marketing, finance, and every team has their favorite AI application. And if you multiply this by 1,000 employees, the amount of data potentially being exposed can explode overnight. Because here's what happens during this interaction piece is an employee will connect to ChatGPT and they might say, analyze this contract. And again, nothing malicious happened. We're not focused on a destination. So there was no phishing attempt. There's no malware. There's no suspicious URL to catch. All they did was connect to ChatGPT, type in a prompt, and in 3 words, data potentially just left your company. It happens that fast. And here's what surprises most senior leaders. If you were to ask IT how many laptops they manage, they know the answer. If you were to ask IT how many firewalls they manage, they know down to the model count. But if you were to ask IT how many AI applications are currently running on their network, most can't answer that question. And it's not because they're doing security wrong. It's because their existing security tools were never designed to inspect inside an AI conversation or understand AI level interactions. AI doesn't replace the need to know where users are going, but it does add a new question of what are they doing once they get to their destination. That's why companies need security built specifically for AI. So how do you actually govern AI? How do you do it at scale? I'm Whiteboard Winnie. Follow me for part 2 and I will walk you through it.